On the surface, Detroit Become Human is a game packed with choice. Not a second goes by where the player isn't forced to think about the actions and consequences of the characters they're controlling. But what if Detroit is more than that? What if the center focus of the game was actually a direct metaphor for the philosophy on which human life is structured? Sounds crazy, I know, but hear me out. In Detroit, there are so many variables that can factor into how your story gets played. Ultimately, you're the one controlling the characters, but in the end, the characters have a bigger influence on you than you do on them. The way each and every player goes about playing Detroit is catered to their own personality. The characters remain stagnant, they just change depending on who's in control. And while this concept is present in every interactive movie, it's the main focus of Detroit. The constant struggle that players face while tackling this game is the concept of humanity. It's the main theme of Detroit, and it's the driving force behind everything you do. Whether it be Kara and the concept of love and family, Marcus's everlasting quest for freedom, or Connor's teetering software instability, every character faces these brick walls of adaptation and struggle in their journey to, well, become human. And you, the player, by sheer coincidence, are a human. You are the strongest form of life known to man, and because of that, when we play this game, we're able to find similarities between ourselves and the deviants. Just like we can relate ourselves to chimps and wolves, we can find similar human traits in androids as well. Since we are the most advanced species on the planet, it's easy for us to metaphorically take apart these androids and find exactly how they relate to us. But how does philosophy play a factor? Well, the main philosophical theme present in Detroit Become Human is the phrase cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. This phrase came from René Descartes, a French philosopher who struggled to grasp his own reality. Descartes, a rationalist, strongly distrusted the world around him and, as a result, questioned everything. He found it hard to take comfort in false beliefs, so instead, he just lived in a constant state of doubt. Descartes believed it was impossible to know anything for certain except for the fact that, as long as we are thinking beings, we're alive. Humans, animals, even plants to an extent, they're all free-thinking beings, but what about androids? Is it really too absurd to claim that a machine that looks, thinks, and acts like a human shouldn't get the same respect as a human? Granted, I know androids aren't humans, but throughout the course of playing Detroit, it's hard not to sympathize with them. Once the LED is gone from the forehead, androids appear just as human as anyone else, making it even easier to relate to them in their struggles. As the old saying goes, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and swims like a duck, well, it must be a duck. The characterization in this game is so real that you can't help but feel for the androids. Even when humans refer to them as it instead of him or her, something felt naturally off. Moments like this, when Connor takes Elijah Kamsky's test, really shows how much progress you're able to make as a player and how many steps towards humanity androids can take. Unless, of course, you shot Chloe, which completely undermines the point of this video, but that's besides the point. See, the point is that as human players, we naturally relate to androids. They look like us, think like us, and act like us. Our natural instinct is to root for these characters. Because we are humans and we're in control, we are the bridge that serves as a connection between androids and humanity. Luckily for our deviants, characters like Todd and Perkins aren't the ones making the choices here. Even though the humans in Detroit tend to hammer home the fact that the androids in the game are just machines or pieces of plastic, the player naturally sees them as more. We're able to perceive them as humans just because of how human-like they really are. Although Socrates defined human nature as the characteristics and traits that set us apart from other species, he never specified if human nature sets us apart from spitting images of ourselves. How different are androids and humans really? Well, emotionally, not that different. Depending on your choices, Connor feared death when cornered by Hank. Kara felt love for Alice, and Marcus even viewed Carl as his own father. These concepts of fear, love, family, strength, tension, they all make us human. Why can't they make androids human as well? Even though they don't eat or breathe like humans, androids still have humanity. If they're able to make their own decisions, live their own lives, and even become these deviants, what separates them from us? They think, therefore they are. The idea of free thought is the centerpiece of Detroit Become Human, just like it is in philosophy. The struggles between order and chaos, love and hatred, peace and war, they're all conflicts that humans face. What's the difference if androids face them as well? Look, at the end of the day, all the deviants want is freedom. This ongoing chase for autonomy is all Connor, Kara, Marcus, and thousands of other androids live for. The notion that humans think they have free will, but aren't sure if they do, is comparable to the fact that androids know they don't have free will, but many of them seek it nonetheless. We as humans think we have freedom, but like Descartes, we're still questioning if we truly do. Skepticism runs our lives, and doubt is a vice that we must live with every single day. On the other side of the coin, deviants are in constant pursuit of freedom. They know their place, but they also know they can move out of that place. If not for anything else, deviants at least know their goal. They understand the concept of freedom. They understand the concept of free thought, and through the player, they're in control of their own destiny. The androids are always striving for something, which begs the question, who truly has more freedom? The skeptic or the believer? The human or the android?